Hi guys, here's another surrogacy Q&A. The question is, what is a surrogate transfer, surrogacy transfer, IVF transfer? What is it? What happens? So a transfer, an IVF transfer, is when they take the embryo they made out of sperm and egg, wherever they came from, put them together and make the embryo. The embryo is what makes the baby, or the start of a baby. They take that embryo from the petri dish and put it back into the surrogate, or put it into the surrogate, or back into the intended mother, or whatever else, depending on if it's a regular IVF or if it's surrogate IVF. In our case, you're gonna put it into the surrogate. One or two, or sometimes more. Don't recommend that. That leads to big things too. But depends on your situation. So they take the embryo, one or two typically, place them back into the uterus. Okay, so in order to get ready for a embryo transfer, you have to take medicines. Most of the time, there are natural transfers, and that's just they go off of your regular cycle and go that way. That is not the typical way to do it, but it is out there. Typically, you start medications, and then usually your first medication is Lupron, and then you have a baseline ultrasound and blood work. Just your start of the cycle, blood work, and all that. Again, not everybody does this, but for the most part, that's what happens. You do that for a few weeks. Some agencies and REs, or no, not agencies, some REs require you to do an ultrasound every week to check lining and check levels. I had to do that with Growing Generations, or with HRC. I had to do that, but with Sheer in Las Vegas, I did not, and with Art this time, I do not, as far as I know. It's not on the schedule. So if you don't have to go do those things, then you just take your meds according to the med calendar, and those change greatly between REs, so it just totally depends on them. But for before my last transfer, okay, it's a lot of change. So for this transfer, all I have is so the basics of it is you need Lupron to stop everything. Get off Lupron and everything starts when you start estrogen, and then after your last, that helps build your cycle, your lining, and then you have your last lining check. If everything's good, you move on, you start progesterone. Progesterone helps your body get ready to take on the embryo and to support the embryo into being a baby. So you basically you do the Lupron, stop Lupron, start estrogen, go through, add in progesterone, start a steroid, usually something that helps you not reject the baby. It's Medrol, doxycycline, there's multiple things. Some people are on baby aspirin for the whole time. I have been in the past, I'm not this time. And all of that makes your uterus the perfect environment to take in the embryo and make the baby. So you get all the way to that point, up to transfer day. Transfer day, they take the two little embryos, or one little embryo, in this big long catheter, and it's like a plunger. It has a plunger on the end with a big long catheter. So you get all in the stirrups, and this part changes for people too. Some people are all dressed up in surgical gear, like scrubs and whatnot. Some people go in just like this, and you just go in there and do it. Most of the time, the only thing that's the same all the time is you have nothing on your butt. So you go in, get in the stirrups, and you're ready they get you all prepped and ready, have the ultrasound on your stomach so they can see where the embryos are going, and he gets you set up. Then the embryologist comes in with the embryos, or embryo, and they take the catheter, stick it into the uterus, inject the babies, so they float in there, take the catheter out. The embryologist takes the catheter back to the lab, checks under a microscope, and makes sure that the one or both, or everything is out of the catheter and into your uterus. And then, depending on your doctor, you lay back for however many minutes or you get up and leave. So it just totally depends on the RA as far as bed rest or that part goes. And then you're sent home to either do bed rest or go about your day as normal. Depends on the RA again. I have had RAs that are like strict bed rest. This is just, you just don't do anything. You be a couch potato, blah, blah, blah. So that is the basics to an embryo transfer. I'm going to attach the old video from my first embryo transfer onto the end of this so you kind of see the screen part of it, the ultrasound part of it, and kind of hear as the doctor from HRC explains it as we're going through it. Ooh, I don't think there's much. I don't think anything else got recorded, just that actual transfer part. And if you have any questions about this or it didn't make any sense, please ask the questions below and I will get back to you and answer those. Thanks again for watching. See you next time. Bye.
Of course, it's your uterus position's kind of hard to see. So that's the one we're doing here. Maybe putting the embryos right down there. I think it'll be okay.
Okay.
I don't have the embryo in the room yet. I'm just getting it ready.
Okay.
So once we're ready, we'll bring the embryo in. And because of the tilt in the uterus, I'm not quite sure how much you're going to see. We're ready for like 2 embryos. After we put the embryos in, the embryologist will take that catheter back to the lab, check under the microscope just to confirm the embryos inside you, not stuck inside the catheter.
3 for 2. Okay.
About 10 minutes after that, I'll let you empty your bladder.
Okay.
Mine is about centimeters thick, that's good. So after you empty your bladder, you can kind of lay down for another 20 minutes or so.
Okay.
And then when you leave here, you're going back to the hotel and just being a couch potato, okay?
Okay.
You can get up, stretch, you know, feel comfortable, order room service, or send your husband out for food, but just take it easy. And when you fly back tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
And so you're taking it easy on the plane, you know, you're not carrying the luggage and things. When you get back home, you can go about your normal daily routine, just avoid any like real vigorous activities, okay? You'll continue on all your medications, don't change or stop anything unless you talk to us first.
Okay.
You'll go in 2 weeks for a pregnancy test. Try to go in the morning so that way we get the results on the same day.
Okay.
And then hopefully you're pregnant, you'll continue all your medications until we tell you otherwise.
Okay.
Okay?
Sounds good.
So the full bladder just really helps us see. If it wasn't full, I couldn't tell anything.
Yeah. That's it, right? That big black spot?
Well, the black is the bladder, this is the uterus, and this is the endometrial lining. It's kind of light part right through there. And as the catheter goes in, you'll be able to see there's a little white at the tip. You'll see it go down. You may see the embryos actually release.
Oh.
Right, 2 embryos.
That noise is like that. Just adjust the time. Actually, that little white spot in the middle of the screen there is where the embryos are. You may not see two little white spots in there. It's not the actual embryos we're looking at, it's the culture media.
Okay.
Give me just a minute here. And so we're just waiting for the embryologist to call.
Okay.